Welcome to the AI for Interior Designers podcast, where creativity meets cutting edge technology. In each episode, we dive deep into the world of artificial intelligence and explore how it's revolutionizing the interior design industry. From AI-powered design tools to the latest trends and innovations, we've got you covered. So plug in, relax, and let's embark on this exciting journey together. Welcome to AI for Interior Designers podcast. P.S. This intro was written by and voiced by AI to sound like your host, Jenna Gaidusek.
Hey designers, welcome back for episode 67 of the AI for Interior Designers podcast. I'm your host, Jenna Gaidusek, and Happy New Year. First of all, Happy New Year. Here we are, January. It's the 9th that I'm recording this, and yeah, I'm going to probably publish it here on the 9th as well, because that's how this entire year has just been going. I don't know about you guys, but I wanted to come into this new year refreshed, on point, with everything done. And it's just not happening that way. And I have to be totally honest with you. I am so frustrated with myself because of that. Last year was incredible. Like, I got to do things that I never in a million years thought that I was going to be able to do, especially working for myself and starting my own company, but I didn't sleep much. If you follow me or, I've been to any of the trade shows, and I would say follow me, but like, I don't even have time to post on Instagram. That's how busy I am right now. And if you haven't seen a post in a month, that's why I can't even get the time to go post a story. And I wish that stories were just like easier to post. I don't know. Is it just me where I'm like overthinking it? And maybe it's just like, well, I got to tag this person. I got to tag that. And it's just like, then, 10 minutes later, and I'm like, well, did I add audio to it? I'm like, I don't have time for this. Like, I don't have time for this. The first year I launched AI for Interior Designers, I challenged myself, and I've done episodes about this. I've done classes about this as well, to post about AI, good or bad, educational or not, all year long. So all of 2024, I posted every single day. I grew my Instagram account and just like my presence in this industry and what I do for AI, of course, by doing that. But let me tell you, that is exhausting. I don't recommend it to anybody. I didn't recommend it to anybody when I did the recap like class about marketing, where I used it as a case study last year. It was actually this time last year I did a marketing using AI, because that was the only way that I was even somewhat able and capable of posting every single day to Instagram. So while it was incredible, I don't ever really want to do that again. And I had actually even considered it for this year, but because I just don't have the time to physically post in the way that I want to post, which is like, I don't just want to automate things. Like, I automate so much. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. But when it comes to posting on social media, I don't want to automate that for myself, right? So I do have Leslie Swink of Swink Social that has been running my Instagram for AI for interior designers with the content and stuff that I share. They repurpose and they're absolutely lovely. Been working with them for over a year. If you don't know Leslie, please go check them out. I highly recommend for your Instagram and also Pinterest. But I haven't had the time to like do that for myself, because when I post to my Instagram for Jenna.Gaidusek, I want to be intentional about what I'm posting. So I felt like in 2024, most days I was just posting to post. And back then, I was posting a lot of like, wow, this AI really sucks, right? Like, look at this. And then I would kind of show like, here's an image, here's an inspirational image. Things have very much shifted, right? We're not doing that anymore, especially because it's good now. Before I was like, we're getting there. And I was kind of showing you progress and, keeping my finger on the pulse. But like, we all know now you can like do a lot of this stuff, right? So I consciously made the choice to stop posting those types of things on my Instagram, because I actually, when it started getting really good, I felt that it was almost detrimental for me to be posting things and prompts where it's a free online forum. Like, anybody can see that. And my job is not to educate homeowners in how to cut designers out of the job. So I chose to not post prompts, prompt AI and images and all of that stuff. But now I'm kind of like, I'm over it. And that is almost the premise for today. Not only the fact that like, man, I feel like I'm already behind and I just need to catch my breath, because I'm about to be probably in your area very, very soon. a lot of travel coming up, all over the country. So, I just, when I do post on socials, I want it to be so intentional and human, right? So I am an 80s baby, late 80s baby. I'm a millennial. I got to play outside with street lights that came on, and then we went home. I played hockey in my neighbor's backyard, and I didn't play video games. Like that's what we did. We went outside. I mowed my neighbor's lawns. We were outside kids. However, we were also the first of the digital kids. So I started playing Sims, and that's how I loved interior design, honestly. Rosebud, Cheat, anybody else? Okay. If you're a millennial, because you're not sitting here like playing with your Sims to make money. No, you're going to fast track that so you can just design your house. So that's what I did. I played CD-ROMs on my computer of video games that were kind of interior design or like soccer related and stuff like that. But I was caught in this analog and digital in the way that I grew up. And I think a lot of us here hopefully can relate to that. Either maybe you have children that are my age or you are my age. I think a lot of people can probably relate to like we came up and we were educated or just it was part of us growing up in the move from the analog to the digital. So we got to have the best of both worlds. And I don't know another generation that got this experience. Like I got a flip phone Motorola that was my first phone in high school, I have the same phone number. I don't ever answer my phone because that's the last thing I want to do is talk on the phone, to be honest with you. Again, I'm a millennial. I don't talk on the phone. Also, I'm a digital person. Like, email me, which I also just despise. I hate email. I absolutely despise email. Like, absolutely cannot. But we're working on the automations using AI to help me with that because email just drives me nuts. Not as much as phone though. I have always hated talking on the phone. And I don't know what that is, but maybe it's because we were the first ones to get text messaging. And, we had to type in you had to press the number 3 times to get to the C, or whatever letter it was. And like it would be, like just fun little like short texts, or pagers, right? Like I never had a pager. I was a little bit too young for those, but I got to see all of this and I got to be a part as a natural progression of technology. So when people ask me, like, how did you get started doing what you do? I've always done this. I've done this since Sims on the computer. I've done this since I learned Google SketchUp, which they called it Google SketchUp back then. In my, I guess it was sophomore year, because we did hand drawing of design school. So I have learned these programs and had the experience of seeing what it was like before, and not like early 90s, 80s, I know that it was obviously very different and very written for everything before I'm talking about, but I am caught in that middle part where we just got to see both sides. And so that kind of takes me to my relationship right now with social media and the way that I want to show up. Because in the past year, the amount of AI slop, for lack of a better term, because that is such an overused term at this point, that is on social media, I don't want to be there. I just don't. And that's why I have been consciously making this decision that if I am going to show up, I'm going to show up with purpose and for a reason, or just because something is pissing me off, or something is really cool or really wrong, and we need to talk about it, right? Like, I don't just want to post floofy, silly little things. And when I do log in, because I like a nice late night scroll when I'm turning off my brain until 1 a.m., which never actually shuts off. I am seeing a lot of things that says 2026 is the new 2016. And I'm like, yes, I love that because 2016, the year my daughter was born, was honestly probably one of the last years that I feel like social media felt good. I mean, even before that, like I was talking to my friend's husband's cousin's wife, whatever, she's my neighbor, about it the other day. And I was like, ew, I just got on Snapchat after like 7 years of not being on Snapchat just because I was so curious. Like, why are people still on Snapchat? It's changed so much. There's all these other feeds, but I'm like, why are kids on Snapchat? Now that I went on there, I was like, oh, gross. The things on there, if you're a parent and your kids have Snapchat, oh my God. I would not let my daughter have a Snapchat, but whatever. I went on there and I was like, can we just bring back MySpace? Like, can we just bring back the top 8 and the custom CSS so that we can code the songs or add the songs and then code how we want, our page's aesthetic to go? That's actually kind of the premise of how I've been building our new social app, rebuilding because I built it so many different times in so many different formats for the AI social since the summer, to be totally honest with you. But it keeps getting too big. And I feel like that's the problem with social media is it just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And then it just kept getting worse and worse and worse. Like, I don't want that feature. I don't need that feature. This does not add to my life. This actually now is almost hurting me because I now will sit here and you created infinite scroll and now like the algorithm just doesn't end. There's no bottom. Take me back to MySpace where I can see my top 8. I can post on, Facebook, early Facebook. I can post on my friend's wall and they can poke me, and just kind of be like, just simple. Why did we get so complicated? Like, what happened? I feel so sad for our kids. Like, they never got to play Sims on a CD-ROM. Like, they never got to go outside and feel safe. I mean, even if it was a false sense of fakeness because we didn't have the internet to know everything that was out there. And now we have true crime and we find out what was actually happening. But still, we felt safe driving around or riding our bikes around our neighborhood or in the pond in my backyard, like, down where I probably shouldn't have been doing that, looking for frogs. But like, kids can't do that. It's not safe. And so what do they have? They have the internet where it's just bullying and you got to look this way and you got to do this and you got to do that. And then AI. So it's like these false expectations of what they should do. And that mental burden is so heavy on kids. I mean, it's heavy on adults, let alone kids that are developing. And I think you all know that. I'm not saying anything new here, but it's terrifying in the way that we have just like taken social media and ruined it. So with that being said, everybody's saying we're going back to 2016, before times got like this. We want the simplicity. We don't want to know what everybody's doing every second of their day. We don't want to know everybody's opinion or the false information that they just keep spreading like wildfire. Like, I don't care. I don't care at all. I care about what happens in my house and with my family and in my neighborhood. Like, of course I care about everybody else. Obviously I care about you in our industry, but like, I worry about my business in my problems. And I don't need to see that constantly on social media. We've got enough going on in the world that I try and stay off of it. Like, I just don't need that heaviness to my day when there's already enough heaviness happening and we've already got enough work to do in the day. Why add that level of stress? And that's all social media is doing. It is so gross. It is just it's such an almost evil energy. Like, it just does not feel good to open those apps anymore. And I know it's not my algorithm because I get so much random stuff. Like, it's a random mix of things. But like, I think people are just in this place where we've done it to ourselves for so long that they don't remember what it was like before. And they don't remember what it's like to have a conversation. Would you say those things to people in real life? Probably not. Like, people forgot how to be people in the real world when AI and technology and social media just started telling us how to live our lives. And I want no part in that anymore. I've always been somebody that really tries to be an individual and not follow trends, but set them or just do my own thing. Like, if I'm not setting a trend, I don't give a shit. I'm just doing it for me. Like, that's it. I live my life for me, not for somebody else. That's why I don't care about how you live your life and your lifestyle and who you love and how you choose to be in your home. That is none of my business unless if you hire me to design your home so that you could live better in there, right? So with all that being said, I think that we are coming full circle now to a place where a lot of people are going analog. They are going back And they're stepping back this year and they're saying, let's go to the old school pictures that are all saturated colors on our Instagram feed, and messy girl style is in right now. I don't know if you've seen that, but basically like brands and, feeds of influencers, I guess, on social media are showing the messy side of life. Messy floors while you're getting ready for the day, or messy countertops while you're doing your makeup, because it's real life. It's not curated, and it's not somebody telling us that you have to be this way on social media anymore. It's showing the real side of human. And after AI comes out, where it's now adapted that clean girl aesthetic, or like that clean, well, it's trying to be, it's obviously messed up. But that clean aesthetic, now we're kind of like, ew, now you're doing that. It's like, don't hate me, but it's almost like when you're on a social media site and then like, you're on there for 5 years and then all of a sudden all the older generations start coming on. You're like, oh, well, this isn't that's cool anymore. Like, okay, what's now? My mom's here now. Where can I go? Love you, mom. But still, like it's something kind of like that where it's like, oh, now like AI is doing that, like I want to do something different, right? So with different, we're going back and we're stripping off all of this extra crap that we just feel is feeding into societally like our demise. Honestly, it's the number one source of unhappiness, and it's a choice that we make because we're addicted to it at this point, to constantly put ourselves in that situation. So I have chosen to not do that as much as possible. I'm still an addict. I still love social media. Trust me, like I do, but I hate to be there. And I know my mental state after I'm there for too long, I cannot keep doing that to myself. So I'm trying to make conscious changes. And I started honestly doing this last year because I'm burnt out of social media. I'm just burnt out. Like it's too much. It's too much. And it's every day with this government. And it's just like I just want to live my life and either be cautiously optimistic, as I usually am with AI, or just living in my own world at this point, which I'm totally fine with. Like, I'm totally fine with living in my own reality if that means that I'm not constantly being in this state of, oh my gosh, that's so sad, or wow, that's going to ruin the world, or, like I just would rather be blissfully unaware, I guess, of some things going on. Now, I am very informed, okay? I'm very informed. Like, I spend a lot of time going down rabbit holes. That's kind of my hobby before I go to bed because I saw this great Instagram this post, of course, when I was scrolling at 1 a.m. It was talking about there's like this secret society of us that we do stuff all day. I've got a 4-year-old who needs a lot of attention. He needs a lot of attention. And so he gets home at 3:30. My daughter gets home at 2:30 and my day is done. Like I have solid amount of hours in the morning, but all of those are meetings. So when do I actually get work done? When I go to bed. Like that's the only time because I really try not to work on weekends. Like that's my time to clean my house. It's actually like my therapy is cleaning my house. I could not have a cleaning lady. I think I would drive myself nuts if I paid somebody, but it also would clean my house. Like it's just such a waste of money for me because I enjoy it because that's when I turn my brain off. But also when I get in bed after I'm done working, yesterday I went to an IDS event, which I'll talk about in a minute. And then I went home and I worked until 1 a.m. or 12 o'clock and then I decompressed for an hour. But I'm watching this one guy and he's like, there's this secret society of us that like we are everything to everybody during the day. We take phone calls, we run our butts around town, we bring these people there, we go over here, we serve everybody. And then what's left for us? Like when is our time? So that's for me when I get in bed and when I can turn off my computer eventually one day. I'll tell my carpal tunnel that and my elbow and my wrist right now. When I can get off, like the last thing that I want to do is think about stuff. So that's what this guy's reel was. I reposted it the other day. If you want to go see it it's on my Instagram because I think a lot of us can relate, especially a lot of us moms, like we do everything all day long. And not saying husbands don't. My husband is wonderful. He is so helpful. He really is. But I need to have my time. And for me, that's at night. And so that's my mindless scrolling or when I start meditating, because I started to meditate almost 2 years ago at night to fall asleep. So I put on my headphones and then I've got some great meditations or just guided things that I listen to. Let me know if you want any info on that. I really like it. It's been really helpful to kind of like center myself and feel like I don't know. I just feel better when I do it in the morning. So I'm just done with the socials. I'm done with the fake AI stuff. I want to get a handle on where we are in real life. And I feel like this might be an interesting perspective from somebody that teaches artificial intelligence because I love AI. AI is the reason why I have such a thriving business because I could build it so fast using AI tools, like in supplemental things. However, it's also the reason why I want to have in-person experiences. And I now value hand artistry. I always have, but I value hand artistry so much more since the AI boom. And I want to make that connection because for me, AI is a helpful tool for the things that bog me down in my day, connecting things within my Gmail to help me find things faster. With the built-in Gemini inside your email, if you have Workspace, it's there. You just got to use it. Okay. So using tools that are built in and can help me to, like preview something before a meeting, pull everything that I've ever talked about for that client, send me a message 24 hours before, write in my chat and say, here's everything that I've aggregated from your past email conversations, from transcripts that you've had, that are all saved in one location. And then here's your prep for the next meeting. I built that workflow right inside of my Gmail. So no other tools, by the way. Okay. This is right inside Workspace. So that reason is why I love AI. Notice how I didn't say anything about interior design when it comes to the things that help me with my workflow. Of course, the AI imagery on demand, being able to say, do you like this in this spot? Let me just show you right now how this looks or how that wall could look if it was painted this color. That's incredible. That's an incredible tool for us to have. And I think at this point, a lot of us probably know that are using it in that way, or at least becoming privy to it and want to start doing that in the new year. So with all of those back end automations, you have to understand that is the goal for the majority of the working class is that we just want to save 15 minutes here or there where something would take us a very long time. We don't want to replace our human experience or our years of industry knowledge, but we just want to do our work faster so that we can get to those fun things. Last night I went to a IDS Charleston event. Even though I have so many things to do, I was like, you have to do this. Also, I do the marketing and, well, not marketing. That is the lovely Kristen Mills of Inch Projects here in Charleston. And go check out her website. I built it for her. But the board, because I'm on the board here in Charleston, we put together these events. And if you're in the Charleston area or just love Charleston, the new Navy Yard Charleston Design Center just opened. So new showrooms have started opening. And so yesterday we had our kickoff January event there at the Navy Yard. And we got to go to Kravitz, Schumacher. Shout out to Lisa because Lisa was also our member chair. But then, they moved over to Schumacher and beautiful, absolutely gorgeous showrooms. There's others that I got to see, but they're all people's names. I can never remember because there's a few others. But we got to go to like 5 different locations. We had about 65 people RSVP to the event and then, kind of more show up. But it was a nice exclusive event for our design community to go and, experience what's coming to the Navy Yard for the design district. And so I'm just going to put this out there into the universe. I would love to have my summit there. I've been saying that for a year. So hopefully next year, maybe we can do a summit for AI there instead of doing it online, which I have planned again for this year. So I'm just putting it out there, not saying anything, but I talked to them and I was like, I just love this. And I really want to have this year, maybe next year, and bring, people to Charleston because if you've been to Charleston, you love Charleston, right? For the most part, you probably love Charleston. I've only met like 3 people that have been here and they were like, yeah, it's okay. I'm like, well, what did you do? I mean, the traffic sucks, but with everyone who wants to move here. So, and the infrastructures are awful. But anyway, we went and we had that event, and I made it a point to make sure that I was there because I'm an introvert. I don't like to leave my house, to be totally honest with you. Also, I am chained to my computer. Like I have not been able to not be on my computer, and it's frustrating me because I want to be able to turn it off. I want to be able to go out and ride my bike with my kids. And I have been so busy that I sit here all day in this room or on my computer upstairs or in the other room, and I'm over it. So like I needed to get out and I needed to have that personal in-person human experience and also go see the design center, of course. So I made it a point, and this is hard for me, okay? Like, I do not do this unless if I feel really comfortable in the situation. Like, I've always been like this. I made it a point to make new friends yesterday. Not necessarily new friends, but new acquaintances. I tried to talk to as many people as I possibly could that went to the event that I didn't already know, and of course, those that I did. But I had to push myself to do that because that's out of my comfort zone. It helps that like I'm on the board and I kind of know who other people are because we do their Instagram for the IDS Charleston chapter. But like I was craving and I have been craving those in-person experiences because I didn't travel in December for once. Did I travel in November? I don't think I did either. So it's been a couple months and I missed the human experience. And that is coming back. And I cannot wait for that. I cannot wait for us to have places where we just go and turn off stuff. Like, I had a ton of messages after break that I was trying to get back to. And honestly, that's probably why I'm still playing catch up because I turned it off. Like, I just turned it off over the past 3 weeks for break so that I could be present with my family, which I feel like I just have not. And I hate that. So I consciously was like, unplug, unplug. Sometimes I got inspiration where like I was like, oh, that's an app idea. And so I'd start building something, which, now I'm like, okay, well, you gotta go finish those. Now you're back from break because that was just kind of fun. But I turned off everything in the way that I really truly unplugged over break and really wanted to be present with humans again and in my house. So if you're looking at this on YouTube, you're probably seeing my crazy office right now. I removed a lot of the crap that was behind me for this because half of what I like to do, especially in the new year, but on weekends and also when I get a second to breathe, is design my house or fix the vibe. Okay. This is something that was the inspiration for me actually going into interior design. And the reason why I knew I wanted to be an interior designer is because since I could move my bed in or a piece of furniture when I was younger, in my teeny tiny bedroom that I had when it was the weekend and my parents said, go clean your disgusting room, Jenna. I was in there and rearranging every single weekend because I needed to flip my vibe. Like I just was not feeling it. Also, I like obsess about organizing stuff, but I'm also ADHD, so it gets really like wicked out of control. Yes, I get to organize it again. That's just kind of how I live my life. Build it all up, make it look nice, and then crash it all down and build it back up again. That's just kind of how I like. I like fresh. I like new. I like um different. And I think that's why I love what I do because it's exactly that all the time. But I also love nostalgia. Well, I mean, this so much relates to the beginning part of this where like I am caught in that middle part. And I think a lot of us are, right? Like we love what technology can do for us. And it has brought so many of us together through connections that we never would have had. And so for that reason, I love it. But also it's double-edged sword, right? Like it's too much. And we need to come back to center and we need to come back to being human because we have forgotten about so much of being human because we're so connected to a scroll. And that's why I never downloaded TikTok because I know myself. If I, was all over the other ones, TikTok would have ruined my life. So I never got on it. But I think people do get addicted to that and that becomes their life and it takes over their life. And I just want to remind you that, like, there's so much more. There's so much more out there. And I really hope that in the new year, and it's silly that I have to remind you that. And I know that most of you don't need that reminder, but there's more to life than social media. and there's more to life than AI and where it's going. And the only way that we can combat the bad in both of those things is to go outside and talk to people and meet up and create events for human experience where we can connect in real life with real people that relate to us and really truly get to know each other again. Because I feel like since COVID, we've forgotten how to do that. And I've said that many, many times. But I think we got the wake up call over the past 2 years that things are not going well on social media. Things with AI are getting into the wrong hands. We've already known this, but when they're put in the wrong hands, it hurts people. And when it's misused, it hurts people and it hurts jobs and it hurts families. And the only thing we can control is what we do in our day to day, right? So I just ask that going into the new year, you are mindful of this. Have you been on social media too long and you're scrolling and now you're like, whoa, I'm a wicked conspiracy theorist now? Like maybe we're all a little bit like that at this point because we're like, what is real? But how much of it is hurtful to you? And maybe just take a step back and just think about that. Okay. Because that hurt is what is hurting other people, right? So, like, if you are caught up in this bad place from social media, from the AI slop that you think maybe is real, like I got caught up in one the other day and I just found out it was not real. It's this model that just, I mean, like she was almost perfect. And I was like, okay. And then she grew like 2.3 million followers within like 3 weeks. And I had started following her because I was like, well, she's interesting. And it turns out she's AI. Like that's how good it is. But also it's like messing with our reality of life and what we know truly. And in some capacity, I do appreciate that because it pushes the envelope. But at some point, it's like, okay, that's too far, right? So I think just making sure that we're going outside, we're touching grass. And this is a reminder for myself as well, because get off your computer, Jenna. But also like making sure that we are building in the time for the experiences and creating the experiences. There's a lot of people in this industry that are really good at putting together and organizing and, bringing people that they know would really get along or want to learn something or form a community together. There's a lot of people that are really good at that. So if you are looking for something outside of your house, I highly recommend you go do that. Whatever that means for you. Go find your hobby people locally. Go find somebody in our industry. Go to industry events. That for me, and I'm going to quote Sarah Daniele of My Doma Gear, fills my cup. So she one of my great friends, honestly. I just love Sarah. Every time we go to a market, she's like, this is filling my cup. Like she is such an extrovert. She's such a people connector. If you don't know Sarah, like she's somebody that you need to know. So Sarah, she brings people together and she sees the connections and she's in the tech industry, obviously, because her and her husband built My Doma, but she's so like in the real world and present and a great mom and like really hands-on, but also like has this, digital side of her. So I think she's awesome. I don't know where I'm going with this, but like, you know, I think that going to these events and bringing these people together, that's what it was, is important. So if you are one of those people that brings people together, keep doing it and keep pushing and bring us together in the new year, if not next year, because we need it now more than ever. We need to come together over something that we love and that makes us happy because there's so much unhappiness and evil in the world right now that it's making all of us sad. And I don't want any of us to go into the new year when we have the opportunity to kind of be like, okay, what can we do about this? And that's get off the internet. It's just get off the internet. So that's what that's it. I'm just gonna end it there today. I hope that you find a balance. I hope that some of this resonated with you today as to where I'm at, maybe, or get your gears turning as to the decisions and the choices that you might want to make in the new year. I'm not saying like don't show up for business on social media because you have to. Like it's the unnecessary evil that we have created for ourselves to do that. But go to local events. The IDS event that join IDS. Join IDS. I love the Interior Design Society .org. I have been a member honestly since I started my virtual company. well, I guess not all the way since the beginning because I didn't know about it way back. But it's such a great way to bring people together. They always have events, ASID, NKVA, whatever your thing is, join something. All right. And I know money might be tight for a lot of people right now, but that is a great way to build confidence, connection, and meet people that you guys can leverage and help. And I don't want to say leverage as in use because that is never my intent. I mean leverage as in, can we collab on this? What can we do here? Because we are in the point right now with economy and things closing and AI and that type of stuff where I am seeing a lot of firms close, and I hate that. I hate that. So I'm seeing a lot more collaboration amongst different either firms or collective industries that just this makes sense for us to work together on this project. So that is how a lot of firms are staying afloat right now, or creating new marketing material, where they don't have to constantly show up online. They now are utilizing each other's audiences, those types of things. So it all comes back to the human. It all comes back to the human. And I just want you to talk to people. That's it. Go outside, talk to people, not through email, not through text message. I mean, phone, fine if that's your thing, but go meet some people, get involved with something, get off the scroll and report back. And let me know how you're feeling in 3 months after you do that. I will tell you, I really feel so much better the days that I unplug. And that's why I've made it part of my weekly process and reset is to just kind of not do it, because I cannot go into this year the way that I ran last year. And if I'm being totally honest with you, I found out that I had some autoimmune things going on, which caused me to lose a ton of weight last year. Not from stress, actually, just because that stuff's been going on. So I've been getting a lot of doctor's appointments and tests. And so a lot of that is why I have wanted to recenter and make sure that my body is the one that's coming first, and also start to rework workouts and all that stuff back into my plan, as a lot of us are doing in January. But I need to get off being chained to the computer. It's Friday and I now have to go work on client projects that I have to wrap up for the week and teach the AI certificate program second class of the quarter. We have the first one Tuesday. We got another one next Tuesday. And then Friday. That is closed, by the way, but I will tell you about that more. If you want to go check out AI for interior designers.ai, that's where the certificate program is located. And I wanted to do this sooner, but as you know, I am busy. We will now be having a lot of the classes as open enrollment classes if you did miss the sign up for the first quarter. So those will all release. First class is going to be in February, and you can start doing the open enrollment very, very soon. That is another great way to meet some people. Honestly, I've seen some people in class start to connect, but that's, just get out there, get out in the world. Okay. Learn AI, of course, so that you can get the time back to get out into the world. That's all for today. So I hope that this was in some way beneficial, and I hope that you have a wonderful new year. I'm going to go do all the things that I need to do so that I can turn my brain off this weekend and chillax and regroup and recenter and get ready for the craziness that is next week. And the week after that, I just need to. I don't even know. I just need to. So you guys have a great rest of your day. I'll talk to you later.
Thanks for listening to today's episode of the AI for Interior Designers podcast. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and tune in next week for more AI tips for your design business. See you next time.